everyone at that festival had the time of their lives apart from the shareholders, because we got the books back that January and we were in a shitload of trouble.
They made some mistakes, they owed some money. A lot of professional people would have walked away from it.
Some people were a little bit in opposition to it, but we were like, well, how big do you want to go?
You got to go balls deep, you know? You're either in or you're out. I remember the day. Still remember the time.
I think the music direction was a big forward step for New Zealand. We've been able to provide a platform for Kiwi artists to aspire to.
Just would you think my love, would you think my love?
Yeah, R&B is pretty important for a musician or your career. You might be playing to people that might not be your genre, you know what I mean? But if you're a good band with good music, they're going to love you. And so that's going to help launchpad everything else, you know?
For New Zealand artists in particular, to have a summer circuit, have an opportunity to play to a domestic audience, and live music, you know, there's nothing better. So, yeah, the international acts, yeah, they might draw a crowd, but I think what they do for our domestic artists is really important.
Rhythm and Vines have been so pivotal for us in our career, especially. Like, we were nobodies pretty much, and then to be put on a stage like that was like just crazy for us.
I think Hamish and the whole team just really know how to stay current, and I've seen that for the last 8 years. It's probably the only festival where I've seen such a cool following. Like they tend to really listen to that crowd and look what's going to be hot next year, and I really booked that. We've just got the right elements for the perfect mix.
Hamish, he's definitely got an eye for talent. No, it's definitely great to have a person that's always hunting and always sniffing out the next best act.
There was times when, Hamish would come up to me with this idea, for the New Year's Eve moment, and he had programmed Shihad, who did an amazing act. And then straight after that, there was Carl Cox to come on for a 3-hour set. And then the midnight show was right smack bang in the middle of it. So you're going from hard rock to hard house. It was an experiment.
Playing odds. 3, 2, 1, 1. Oh, shit. Mum would be happy with the wine.
Yeah, our parents influence us. Our mums, especially.
You just wait, my shoes are going to light up when the sun goes down, and I'm so excited about it. They have a charger, they plug into the wall. It's ridiculous.
Can I see them, please?
What colour? I think we're going to go for a full techno vibe.
I noticed from my part of the business booking the bands, doors were starting to close on us from the New Zealand acts, and some of these acts we'd been promoting over the years, and we'd given them their largest fees, their largest stages, and they were hiking their prices on us.
Coromandel Gold came in on the scene. They suddenly went, we'll take all the New Zealand acts and put them at festival at Coromandel, slap exclusivity contracts on them so they couldn't perform anywhere else. And suddenly we were looking at having to bring in internationals.
And I think we noticed that all these people were coming to Gisborne to enjoy Rhythm and Vines, but they were arriving days before, twiddling their thumbs almost, waiting for this big party to happen. Why not make the most of all the infrastructure, all the investment on site, all the punters in town? Let's invite them out early and let's get the party started.
It was a pivotal time. Some people were a little bit in opposition to it, but we were like, well, how big do you want to go? It's like, let's go for it. That's when it took a big jump. And then suddenly this thing was growing quite exponentially.
It was scary, and we engaged a consultant who had worked on some of these larger projects. That brought with us its challenges and considerable cost involved with this consulting, and let alone the cost with expanding the event over 3 days. International acts that required certain travel and accommodation requirements.
When Paxton came on board, him and Hamish were heading up program, and they ended up overcooking the program budget by a decent amount of money.
I compare it to going shopping, and I turned up with my shopping bags, and Paxton, who I was working with, turned up with his shopping bags, and we put them all out on the table, and we soon realised we had overspent.
Yeah, so that was the downside of it. The plus side of it was we had an amazing lineup for 3 days, and that year just really put us on the map.
We had Franz Ferdinand and the Kooks, Public Enemy, we had Carl Cox, one of the world's leading DJs, performing on New Year's Eve. This was a monumental lineup, and it still is.
The Guardian newspaper in the UK published that the Rhythm and Vines in Gisborne was in the top 5 destinations in the world.
There's a few of us who dedicate everything to this. We absolutely live for it. You know, like, it's in our heads from sun up to sundown. You know, you put your heart and soul into it.
Everyone at that festival had the time of their lives apart from the shareholders, because we got the books back that January and we were in a shitload of trouble. You know, as a young businessman, it was a personal toll as well. I mean, I moved home, living with my parents, didn't know how my own cash flow would be coming from to survive, my career options, you know. It was a really tough time.
This business is difficult. It's not for everyone. It's very unusual for amateurs to have no connection with the business at all to come into it. Just the sheer intensity, the money involved. And you're dealing with top dogs from New York and London. You know, we're in the middle of nowhere.
We're here on the front steps of the Artist Liaison House, awaiting our headline arrival for Schoolboy Q. We got a heads up from the guys that he liked playing with the dog, and it was a bit of a touch at home for him, so we went out and got our own dog, Kojak.
What's his name again? One more time.
This is Kojak.
We went through an HR process and we found a person called Kieran's Plan.
So about 5 or 6 years ago, I think I had a midlife crisis and decided to do something different. My wife's a Kiwi, so we we sold up from a life in Dublin and came out to New Zealand.
He had some very good experience working with Live Nation in the UK, and he wanted to get himself into the entertainment industry in New Zealand and expand.
I mean, he came in and was given what was potentially a two-headed monster with different festivals happening at one location, and took him a few years to get up to speed with where Rhythm and Vines was at.
Hey, don't put that on camera. They probably got too big too quickly, and they kind of lost control of the business. And in my mind, I think that kind of the model of having 10,000 plus campers not on your festival site was a pretty major hole in the kind of your standard festival model, where people stay on site, they camp, they spend money with you.
You just pay wave that card and hope that it keeps it, because hope it doesn't pick up. I haven't checked my bank account. I'm like,
Yeah, I had to use the Bank of Mum to buy alcohol today. It wasn't going to work otherwise. Sorry, Mum. Sorry, Mum.
We set up Rhythm and Alps in Queenstown. But that involved a huge amount of focus to get that project off the ground, sourcing a venue, new contractors, building a team in Wanaka for the new years. And this is at the same time we're running our team in Gisborne. So resources were stretched, focus was redirected away from Gisborne, and we probably overextended trying to run 2 festivals at once.
I think Alps ended up being 5,000 tickets short of target. Rhythm and Vines was 5,000 tickets, 10,000 tickets. It's quite a quite a fuck me moment. It was pretty ugly.
We were just in such a deep hole that it was hard to see how we'd get out of this. It was hard to see a future.
It forced our hand to take, drastic action to try and deal with the situation we got ourselves into. We sold Alps. We had 15 full-time employees when I joined the business. We're now down to 3. I think I didn't sleep for most of 2015, to be quite honest.
We were in debt so deep, and the model was so flawed that there was no future.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.